I'm Enrique from the Editor group, and I'm going to be talking about the directory structure of the GitLab application repository. In particular, I'm going to focus where you can find the implementation files for the Wiki Editing Form. Let's start with the directory structure of the GitLab application. The GitLab application is implemented using the Ruby on Rails framework. Therefore, it follows the same conventional directory structure of this framework. All of the application source is located in the app directory. For our goals, that is changing and improving the editing experience of the Wikiform, we are going to concentrate mainly on the JavaScript files. You can find the JavaScript files and the view component files in the app/assets/JavaScript directory. So let's see in the web browser what are we trying to modify. So the Wiki Editing Form is implemented in a single file, and you will find everything that all of these text fields and the editing area, along with the save changes and cancel button. The view component that contains all of these changes is called wikiform.view. You can press the command key in your Mac computer. If you're using VS Code, you can press the command plus P and type the wiki underscore form.view file, and you will VS Code will find that file for you, so you don't need to explore in the sidebar where the file is located. So let's open this file and let's have a quick overview of its contents. This file, as I was explaining before, is a view component that will contain all of these fields and some logic to switch between the classic Markdown editor, where you write Markdown, and the content editor that allows you to use a WYSIWYG editor to write GitLab flavor Markdown. So for the first two issues that I added to the document, to the project scoping document, improve the discoverability of the rich text editor. Let's open this issue. You will see that we have to change this button here, edit rich text, and we want to replace it with this UI component that is called segmented control, which I make a mention here. So let's try to find where this link button is and how we can replace it. So a good way of finding a button or a part of a UI in the editor is by using the search functionality in VS Code. So if I see that here we have edit rich text, we can type it in the search functionality and we will find this label. In GitLab, at GitLab, we follow the convention that we don't store the strings. We don't type the text directly in the template part of the view component. What we do is that we store it in variables, and these variables are referenced inside this template here. So let's see what is the name of the variable that contains the edit rich text text. So we can see it here, and then we can copy this variable name and paste it here. As you see that there is a chain of references, because when we go here and we switch between edit source and edit rich text, we are changing the text of the same button to indicate when you are using the WYSIWYG editor or the source editor. So you can see that this logic is implemented here. If the content editor is active, you have to use we are gonna use the we are gonna change the text of the link button to allow to indicate the user that they can switch to the classic Markdown editor. So let's see where this computed property is used. Like this computed property will return the UI text for the active state of the button. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna use a find functionality in the editor again to see where it is located. And you can see here that this is the implementation of the button. As you can see, it is a link button with a variant, and we are using a computed property. We are referencing the computed property that will return the UI text for the button. So yeah, like for the first two issues here, and the second one that is changing the display, the title field and the format dropdown in like making a rearrangement of those fields in the UI. You only have to focus on the Wikiform .view component. So you don't need to even look for other files. The second thing that you have to know is how to use GitLab UI components. So as you can, when I'm talking about GitLab UI components, I'm referring to this library and to this package, GitLab/UI. So in this issue, I'm recommending to use the segmented control component. If you click here, you will see an example of how to use the components. So if you want to use this component here in this form, you have to import it. Usually, you will need to find what is the name of the component in the library, and to do that, you can go and see what is the name of the component here. So you can follow the view source from the GitLab UI page, and then we can navigate to this file to see the list of available components. I'm gonna send you this link so you can see the name of all of the available components in the case that you have to use another one in the future. As you can see, if I type segmented control, it is the same name that I typed in the editor previously. You have to after that you will have to include the component in the component list and all of that to make it work. So yeah, that's basically what you have to what you have to do to implement the first two issues. It's basically acquiring the knowledge of how to use GitLab UI components, and also acquiring the knowledge of how to use them inside this Wikiform.view component. The last step that you will have to follow is changing the unit tests that are related to Wikiform, and you have to find what is the spec file for this component. And for doing that, I recommend you to follow the same technique that I used to find the Wikiform.view component. You can use Command P and then type the name of the spec file. Each spec file is named exactly after the view component that is testing. So we can say Wikiform, and then we add the spec suffix, and that's the name. You will see that the editor will show you the spec file for the view components. In this file, we have many tests, and one of the tests is related to switching between the classic editor and the content editor. So you will have to change some of these unit tests, um, and replace the toggle the current toggle link button that we are using with the segmented control. So yeah, this is everything for now. If you have any questions or about how to change the specs, please let me know. Open a merge request, and then ask your questions there, or ask questions in the issues that you are working on. Thank you, and good luck.